Hello everyone, Ranjitha here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another Cricut designing tutorial. As you all know, letter cake toppers are trending and they are so very popular these days. So without any further ado, let's get started and learn how to make this topper. So firstly, when we open our design space, like I have previously explained in my before video, you get these options. So I'm going to the left hand top corner and I'm selecting canvas. Once I select canvas, a new fresh page is ready for us to work with. So now I'm going ahead and I will go into images and I'm going to search for the image for the letter T. Okay, so there are multiple ways of doing it. You can type the text and you can elongate it into the font, but it is usually difficult that way. But the easiest way to do that is go to images and search for a letter T. So I'm looking for a T that is very suitable for my shaker topper so that I have enough space to add my shaker elements. So if you can see here, this T is quite good. So say suppose we don't have an image that is suiting our needs, then what can we do? We have searched design space and we do not have an image that is suitable for us. Then the next best option is you have to go to Google, just search for the alphabet T. Okay, so once when you do that, you get lots of options. You can choose whichever T you want. Again, here I'm searching for a T that is suitable and wide enough for my shaker elements to fit inside. Okay, if I have a very thin and very slim T, it's not going to serve my purpose. So I'm carefully scrolling down and I'm looking for a T that is suitable for my needs. Okay, one thing you have to remember here is you do not need to have an SVG file. You just need an image that has a fairly clear background. Okay, so here I'm selecting this T and I'm saving it onto my computer. I prefer saving my files with a proper name so that when I search it again, it is easy for me to find it. So here I'm just going ahead and saving this image onto my system. Okay, now we are coming back to design space. Here there is an option called upload, okay, on the left hand side. So there I'm going to upload, I'm going to browse and I'm going to select the image that I have just saved onto my system. Okay, pretty easy, not a very difficult process. So here the image is ready. Now you have multiple options here which says simple, moderately complex and complex. I'm going to select complex. Here you have an option where you can remove the background. Okay, it is that simple. Once I have removed the background, I'm going to add it to the canvas. So here you have two options. First is a cut image, then it is a print and cut image. So here we are looking for a cut image, so I'm going to cut an image. Here again I'm going to save my image. Always take time to save and name your images properly, because when you start exploring with Cricut, you end up with so many images that you find it difficult to find them back again. Okay, so here I have uploaded the T that we have downloaded or saved from Google, remove the background, and now our T is ready. So the first thing I'm going to do is this T is perfect, but I thought it will be nice if it is a little more elongated. Okay, so whenever you're deciding your cake topper size, make sure that it depends on the size of the tin. Say suppose you are baking a 5-inch cake or you're ordering a 5-inch cake, your cake topper can be, the width of your cake topper can be approximately 4-inch. So it has to be smaller than your cake, only then it is going to look good. Okay, so I wanted to make my T a little more elongated, so I'm unlocking it and then only increasing the length. Okay, so if I increase the length directly, it's going to increase on the whole, so I'm going to only increase the length. Then I have duplicated it. So if you remember, I told you in my previous video that it is always better to color code your objects. Okay, so I've converted one into green and one into gray. So the green one will be my pattern paper base or the cardstock base, and the gray one will be my acetate sheet. Okay, so the two base layers are ready now. Okay, I have the base layer, on top of that I have my acetate layer. Next we want some letter things to line the borders, okay, where you want to cover up your foam adhesive. So I'm going to this offset option and I'm going to create an inset. Okay, I always prefer using inset option because I know how much my final piece should be. So if I keep on adding offset, then you will start with 4 inches and you might end up doing it more. Okay, so I'm choosing the sharp cornered options here. The corners I want them to be sharp, and I have created an inset here. Okay, so now I'm going to select both of them and I'm going to first align them to the center. Okay, this way I'm going to align them to the center. So this way I'm making sure it is equal on all sides. Now I'm going to slice it. Okay, once we slice it, as you can see here, I have a piece that goes over my acetate sheet. Okay, very simple. So now I have a base cardstock, I have an acetate sheet, and I have a layer that goes above it to cover my foam adhesive. Okay, now you can stop it at this, or you can have the same layer in multiple copies so that it gives more 3D effect, but here I'm going for a very simple topper. So now I want another glitter layer on top of this, a silver glitter layer. I'm again taking an inset and I'm adding a very thin inset here again. So here I want to mention another point here. If you want 2 layers here, make sure that your base inset layer, that the green layer which we have formed, it is wide enough to accommodate another layer. Okay, so for that reason I'm showing it to you again. So before slicing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this inset is wide enough so that it can accommodate another layer. Okay, so I'm increasing the inset here, I'm increasing the width of the green thin cutout that I'm going to do here. Okay, I purposefully did this step so that I want you to understand how it is, how you have to adjust your layers so that you can accommodate more and more layers. Okay, so here I have slightly done that so that I can accommodate another layer. Once I'm happy, I'm now going to apply. I'm not going to move it anywhere because I don't want to again align it. I'm going to select both of them and I'm going to slice it. So now our outer frame is ready. I'm going to delete the other 2 frames, we don't need them. Now I'm going to select this thin green layer and I'm going to again make another smaller inset. Okay, very thin one. This will be my silver glitter cardstock. Okay, so as you can see here, there is a lot of difference now, because if it gets very thinner at the corners, it was not getting cut or there was no border in the corners. So for that I had to go back and increase the width of my base layer. So now I'm making another thin inset and I'm going to add that. Now I'm not going to slice it or I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to leave it as it is. Only thing I will be doing is I will be changing the color. Whenever I'm working on multiple layers like this, I make sure that I immediately change the color of my layer so that I don't get confused at the end. I'm keeping this as dark gray. This will be my silver glitter cardstock. So that's it. Now our layers are ready. We have our base printed cardstock layer. I'm now duplicating that base layer because I wanted another layer for that, so that it'll cover the back of my cake topper. And then I have my acetate sheet. So here you can see there is some issue with the alignment, so I want to bring it forward. So here you can see that is how you bring it forward, and this is why you have to know the arrangement. Okay, so if I am not having the arrangement right, it is very difficult for me to visualize the cake topper. Okay, and after that the topmost layer, it is going to be my glitter cardstock layer that will come above. So with this, our cake topper designing is done. Very easy. It hardly took me any time to design this. All you need is you just have to have an idea of how you want your end product to be, how many layers your cake topper should have. Just visualize the end product before designing it. So now that our base cake topper is ready, I want to personalize it a little more by adding the name of the recipient or the birthday girl. So for that, I'm going to the text option here on the left side, and I'm just adding the name of the birthday girl here. This is a very simple step. So once I'm done, I'm now going to select this text and I'm going to change the font. So for that, I'm going to the slot here where we can change the font. As I told you, it is easy if we bookmark our fonts. So I'm just going to the bookmarked fonts here. You can select it from the system fonts or you can select from Cricut fonts, but since I regularly make these toppers, I know what font really looks good. And sometimes if you don't have bookmark fonts, it is going to become very difficult to select the right font because you have too many options. So for that, I'm just going to go to bookmarked options and I'm going to just select the favorite font which I want. Okay, so here I've selected this font and I'm happy with the font. Firstly, I will just place it on my topper and I will just analyze if the size is right. In case if I want to increase the size, I'm going to do it now. So now, as you can see here, I thought the letters are too thin. Okay, so they might not be visible. So for that reason, to increase the size of my letters, if I increase the font size, it's going to become too big. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a very, very, very thin layer of an offset here. Okay, and I'm going to apply. Once I do that, I'm going to have a thin layer around my letters. Okay, this way the thickness of my letters is going to increase without increasing the size of the font. So as you can see here, there is a lot of difference between the first one and the second one. So now I'm going to size this name according to the size I want it to be on the topper, and I wanted this in glitter cardstock. So again, I'm color coding it to dark gray. That was the color of my glitter cardstock. Now I'm adding another offset layer to it. This will be the green layer. So the first piece, we don't need it anymore, so I'm putting it aside. Now this one is going to be my printed cardstock layer. On top of that, I will have my silver glitter cardstock. Okay, so that is all. Our topper is ready. So make sure that you always color code your layers. So here you can see here I have a base layer, that is my printed cardstock. Beneath it I have a dark green cardstock that is going to cover my skewer or whatever I'm going to put to hold my cake topper. I'm having my acetate layer. Over that I have a thin rim of printed cardstock. Over that I have another thin rim of silver glitter cardstock, and I've also designed my name here. So that was today's video on how you can make your own customized letter shaped cake toppers. I hope it was easy and simple enough for you to follow. Do let me know what kind of tutorials you're looking forward to. I will be back with another interesting tutorial. So here is our finished cake topper. I will go ahead and cut it, and here you can see how beautiful it turned out after assembling it. I'm sharing some pictures here. I hope this was inspiring and you liked this video. I will be back soon with another interesting video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and do follow me on my social media. Bye.